Hi guys, welcome to Decor to Adore and More. Today we're going to be making over some thrifted signs. We're going to start off with this sign that I found at the thrift store. And I'm going to use Waverly Fern to paint this over. Now a lot of people are kind of getting away from the sign trend, at least with the words. So I wanted some ideas that you could do that don't include words. So we're going to start off, we painted this with the green fern. Now we're going to take some white acrylic paint and we're going to dry brush because we had a lot of texture on this frame and I still want to bring some of that out. So just dab a little bit of paint on your brush and dab a little off and then go over so all the little raised areas get hit with the white paint. If you guys didn't know, I have a small retail booth that I sell most of my makeovers in. It's at the Grable shops, the shops of Grable in Indiana. If you're ever close, come check it out. Now I'm going to use my polyacrylic in matte to seal in our chalk paint. And then I just got some patch from the dollar store. It comes in a little tub for $1.25. And I just dumped it all on here and used a little knife, like a spatula knife, spatula painting spatula, you know, and press it all around. It's kind of fun. It's kind of like playing with Play-Doh. And then I made this little design that I wanted. That was cool. And I let this dry for 24 hours. And now it's all dried up. And we're going to take some gold metallic paint. And we're sort of going to dry brush this too. We're just going to hit all the raised edges so that the gold just gives it a little bit of pop against the white. Something everyone could do. You don't even have to have a thrifted sign. You could buy a new sign if you want. Go to the Dollar Tree and get something. And green is in right now. The dark greens, light greens, and gold too. I love that gold metallic paint. Shiny. Okay, now I found this. It was originally $24.99 at Hobby Lobby. Someone bought it, made over a sign. I bought it at the thrift store and it was half off. That sign said, or the sticker says $5.99. So I got it for like $3. They must have tried to use command strips to hold it up. But luckily, those are easy to remove. Now, this sticker from Hobby Lobby always is a pain in the butt to get off. But if you use like a heat gun or a hair dryer and a little razor, you can get it off there pretty easily. It loosens up the adhesive and then you can slide it off. But since I'm selling these, don't want the Hobby Lobby stickers on the back. And I think it says Hobby Lobby right there, so I'm probably gonna paint that over with something. Or put another sticker over it, I don't know. She believed she could, so she did. Well, I didn't believe her. So, if you've watched my other videos, I have a ton of wallpaper samples. And this one I thought was cute. And we're just going to use some hot glue to attach it on here. I just cut this to size, almost to size. And you could probably use double stick tape or Mod Podge if you want. Sometimes Mod Podge, if you put it on too thick, will ripple the paper. So I was like, I'm just going to slap on some hot glue. And it'll stay on there pretty good. Especially because now, since I said I didn't get it perfectly to the edges, I like to use this thick jute twine. And we're just going to go around and hot glue it around the edges. And that way you don't see the seam where the paper is, and it adds a little something to it. See? Pretty. And I can't tell any of those edges are not perfect. I had this little wooden wreath cut out, but I wanted to make an actual wreath to go on this. And I had this little eucalyptus pick, but it wasn't going to work like that, so I just pulled it apart and decided to hot glue it to the wooden wreath. So I think I put 3 pieces around that were kind of put together. But then I wanted to fill it up more, so then I cut them even more apart into individual leaves. And you could also just buy a small wreath if you wanted to, already made, but I was using what I had, and so just added enough till it got full and covered most of that wooden wreath. And that's what it looks like when it was all finished. And we're going to use some E6000. E6000 is going to give it the permanent hold. And it's pretty light wood and stuff on the wreath. And then we're going to put some hot glue on to hold it, like double hold. And I set this down flat and I put something on top of it and let it dry for 24 hours. And this is what it looks like at the end. Okay, then we got this sign that I already started painting over. It just said, be brave, be strong, be adventurous. And I painted it all white with some chalk paint. And we're going to do something a little more whimsical with this one. So I'm taking some white tissue paper and some stamps. And we're going to use some black ink. And we're basically making our own decoupage paper. But we're going to piece it all together. But I didn't know exactly what I wanted to use, so I made a bunch. And then you can save if you have leftovers. You could make it more simple. I used several of these stamps. That way I had different options. Look at, these are all the ones I ended up stamping. Got all kinds of different flowers, leaves. Mushrooms. Birds. Okay, I got this all pieced together how I like. I just kind of cut out each one, tore around the edges so it didn't look like straight lines. And now we're just going to use our Mod Podge and we're going to piece it down how we like. And like I said, you could do whatever you wanted. The options are limitless. You could make it more simple. Do all mushrooms, do all flowers. I liked combination of all of the things. All right, I got it all done, and then I put a layer of Mod Podge over the top of all of it. And now I'm using some Waverly antiquing wax. And you could keep it just white if you want, but I wanted to add more. So you put the wax on and then use a rag to sort of wipe it off. And the Mod Podge and the tissue paper and the brush strokes, all that stuff sort of picks up the antiquing wax, kind of gets into all the little crevices and just adds more depth, texture, interest, whatever you want to call it. And it got a little bit dark in a few spots. I wanted it a little bit lighter, so I went in with, since this is all sealed in, I just took some water and sort of went back and lightened it up. Now, to be even more extra, I have these little like pearl translucent colored paints, and I just kind of went over what colors struck my fancy. Give it more of a whimsical vibe. I don't want it to just be brown. So it's still muted, but there's some color. And that was a couple of my ideas for making over some thrifted signs. Hope you enjoyed. Tell me which one was your favorite in the comments. Goodbye.